Taurus Rising with September eclipses will push you to balance your private life and your career. Something at home, with family, or with your comfort zone may need to shift so that you can step into a bigger role or open new opportunities in your public life. It can feel like life is forcing you to choose, but it's really helping you move forward. Eclipses happen when Sun and Moon aligns with Rahu and Ketu, the karmic points of growth and release. They highlight what's unstable, they don't break what is solid. If something ends, like a situation at home or a way you've been working on, it's because it couldn't hold any longer. If a new door opens, like a new position or recognition, it's because you were already ready for it. That's why eclipses changes feel fast, but they actually build up for months before. Rahu and Ketu always stays in one pair of signs for 18 months. That's why their transits set the bigger karmic events. From November 2023 to May 2025, Rahu and Ketu were in Virgo and Pisces. Since May 2025, they shifted into Leo and Aquarius. Taurus Rising, that means Rahu now is in your 10th house, the house of career, reputation, social status recognition, and Ketu is in Leo in your 4th house, which is the house of family, home, mother, or your comfort zone. So this 18 months you will be working on the axis of your private life versus public life. The eclipses itself don't create these themes, they simply highlight these points sharply. So what in practice that would mean for a rising Taurus? You may get a career opportunity that requires longer hours away from home. For example, a promotion that requires longer hours or travel. A family situation may shift parents, children, or home responsibilities, and you may need to adjust your priorities. You may outgrow your comfort zone. What used to feel safe, like staying home, avoiding risk, playing small, suddenly might feel restrictive. A literal home change is possible. Some of you may move, sell property, or renovate, while others may feel distance from family or old roots. Emotional security might be tested. You may realize you've been clinging to old habits or people, and now it's time to let it go. For some, a parent's role or health might require attention, pulling you into family matters while pushing you to take more responsibility outside. The eclipse season is the 2 weeks between lunar eclipse and solar eclipse. This year it will happen September 7 and September 21. These 2 weeks are the most unstable. What can happen? A career shift, like a project ending suddenly, or a boss leaving. A home matter comes to a peak. Family conflicts or changes in living arrangements. Emotional attachments get tested. You may realize that you can't keep living in the same patterns. What should you do? Don't rush into big commitments. Don't cling to what's falling apart. Observe and wait until September 21st to make final decisions. When analyzing eclipses, it's also important to understand the roles of the rulers of Rahu and Ketu in transit. Taurus Rising, your 10th house is ruled by the Saturn, and your 4th house, which is in Leo, is ruled by the Sun. If your Saturn is strong in your chart, you can build career progress now. For example, a new role that gives you long-term stability and structure. If your Saturn is weak in your chart, you might feel blocked by authority figures, slow progress, or unclear goals. If your Sun is strong in your chart, you will handle home and family matters with confidence. You may take charge of a move or set stronger family boundaries and feel in control. And if your Sun is weak, you might feel exposed, like the ground under you is shaking. At first, it can feel like a rejection or insecurity, but in reality, it's clearing the space to build a healthier foundation. Of course, we cannot analyze the transits of Rahu and Ketu and eclipses apart from other 2 important transits. The transit of Jupiter and the transit of Saturn. Saturn shows where we need to limit ourselves, build resilience, structure, and discipline. Jupiter, on the other hand, shows where abundance, growth, and opportunities come. For Taurus Rising, your Saturn is in the 11th house, in Pisces. It entered Pisces in April 2025. If you already have been working on setting long-term goals, building structure with your friendships, creating creating discipline around which groups you belong to, then this eclipse will feel less sudden or painful. For example, you've been stepping slowly from a draining friendship since April 2025. By eclipse time, the final break happens, but it doesn't feel so sudden or it doesn't feel so painful. Jupiter is in Gemini in your second house. This is where growth is happening, in your skills, in your income, in your self-confidence or self-worth. For example, Saturn is limiting certain friendships or groups, while Jupiter in your second house will bring you more opportunities in building your new skills and talents, which eventually will grow your confidence. So while Saturn teaches you discipline and forces you to get clear on setting long-term goals, Jupiter opens door for financial growth and personal stability. One asks for structure, other give expansion, and together they show exactly where you need to balance between new endings and opportunities. How to handle this eclipse season? Be willing to leave your comfort zone. If you cling to the past, the process feels heavier. Focus on long-term career goals, not just short-term peace at home. Don't resist any family or emotional shifts. They are pointing you toward independence. Strengthen your finances and skills. This is where growth is now. Create healthy boundaries with family so you can give energy to your career without guilt. So for Taurus Rising, this eclipse season is asking you to release from your home attachments so you can step into new opportunities in your public life. It may feel like you are leaving behind a safe space, but in reality, you are creating a new foundation for growth. To accept the changes, you'll find yourself more stronger, more stable, and more respected in months to come. And remember, if you have planets in Leo or Aquarius, this eclipse will feel even stronger. Check my previous video for full explanation of Rahu and Ketu, and in the next video we will look at what the eclipses mean for Gemini rising.